What's up, Viego mans? I have an exciting video to talk about because for the first time in probably a long time, there's actually, in my opinion, a definitive meta change on what Mythic Viego is going to build. Ever since Triforce got buffed a long time ago, Triforce has pretty much been the Mythic that you build in every scenario on Viego. There were times where people were, testing out Evan Shroud, a lot of people were still running Divine Sunder, but for the most part, Trinity Force has been the definitive Mythic on Viego. I now feel very confident in saying that Triforce is no longer the only Mythic that you can run on Viego. And the new Mythic that you can run, spoiler alert, is Stridebreaker. So if you guys don't remember, in patch 13.14, Trinity Force did receive a small nerf. But up until this current patch, there were Mythics that kind of competed with it, but in general, none of them were better than Trinity Force, even after the nerf. However, in the most current patch, 13.17, Stridebreaker received a pretty small but underrated buff, giving it an additional 75 health. Now, I'm not one to just lose my mind over 75 health, but the thing that you have to understand about Stridebreaker is that it was already probably Viego's second best Mythic, even though pretty much nobody used it. And the reason why Stridebreaker is so good is because it will do a little bit less damage than Trinity Force, but the active on it is so insanely valuable on Viego, especially in high elo, and I'll explain pretty much what Viego's weakness is and why Stridebreaker helps bridge the gap on those weaknesses. Viego's biggest weakness is that he is very high risk, high reward. So if you, for example, use all your spells on the enemy ADC and they get away, you have no way of getting on them, like you miss your W, you have no gap closers, they flash your ult, there's nothing you can really do. But the thing with Stridebreaker is that it actually allows you to have that AoE slow. If you use it on a priority target or the person you're chasing down in a fight, it not only helps you stick on that target, but also helps your team stick on that target, which in general will allow you to secure kills on priority targets a lot more easily. The other thing about Stridebreaker that I'm a big fan of is Viego doesn't have a lot of utility in general, so if you're not in a position where you can 1v9 carry or kill a target on your own, you're kind of useless. With Stridebreaker, you do have an additional bit of utility that does allow you to still be impactful in a fight. Now, a lot of people will probably ask, doesn't Viego need a Sheen proc? Doesn't he need Sheen in order to be good? In my experience, having tested it, no, he doesn't actually. The difference in damage between Trinity Force and Stridebreaker is not actually that much. Stridebreaker as a base gives 20 AD more than Trinity Force, which obviously is a good amount of damage, but if you continue hitting the target, Trinity Force will outdamage Stridebreaker. The thing is that the ability for you to slow the person that you're attacking practically will give you more damage than Trinity Force, because you do no damage if you can't hit them. So being able to slow them and stick on the target, especially in a team fight, and especially since it's an AoE slow and you can use it on multiple people, gives you theoretically more practical DPS in a fight. Now, with the reasons I just gave, let me briefly talk about what you're actually going to build. Now, there's two options you can go for. Basically, you have two items you're going to build every single game, and that is Kraken Slayer and Stridebreaker. Pretty much just replacing Trinity Force with Stridebreaker. But I'm somebody who never liked building Trinity Force first. I pretty much always built Kraken Slayer first, but when I am building Stridebreaker, I actually find myself building Stridebreaker first. Now, it will slow down your clear a little bit. Obviously, you don't get the Noon Quiver, and Kraken Slayer is just great for clearing the jungle. If I get stuck in a position where I'm not able to actually snowball the way I want to, I don't provide as much to the team or to ganks or to team fights as I'd like to, because I pretty much just have an item that's designed to do one thing. Whereas Stridebreaker still does a lot of damage, maybe slightly less than a first item power spike Kraken Slayer, but what it allows me to do is it allows me to set up ganks better, it allows me to set up picks better, and it allows me to just be overall more useful in a team fight with Stridebreaker as my first item. It makes me a little bit more tanky and all that good stuff. So I've actually been finding a lot of success rushing Stridebreaker first, but I will just say I've been struggling really hard in ranked, and ever since I started rushing Stridebreaker first, I think I have like a 75% win rate in over like 20-30 games or something like that. So that's just my personal experience. Obviously test it out for yourself, but rushing Stridebreaker first into Kraken Slayer is something that I would very highly recommend. Obviously Mythics are getting removed at some point, and people are always asking me, what are we going to do when Mythics are removed? Well, to be quite honest, I don't know. But Mythics aren't removed yet, so here's the Mythic that you'll take. And when Mythics get removed, I will keep you guys updated on everything you need to know about Viego builds and keep you guys ahead of the curve. But build Stridebreaker, build it now, because once people start catching on to the fact that Stridebreaker is a better Mythic than Trinity Force, you will have already been running it, and you will have known that you were ahead of the curve. So thank you guys for watching, much love, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.